How far of a drive would that be for you?
It's an 8-hour drive. Yeah.
And you'd meet us at the top just to motivate us.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
We are the Crawfords. We have 6 kids and are hiking the Appalachian Trail, a 2,200-mile hike from Georgia to Maine. We don't know if we can finish it, but we are doing it together.
Oh my goodness, look at this. This is pretty fancy looking. And we got some coffee here. Alright, I realize you guys have no idea where we are because we didn't film yesterday. We are at Bearded Woods Hostel with Hudson and Lou, and it's quite a story about how we ended up here. They're the hostel owners, and they just contacted us yesterday or the day before and said, we will pick you up, we want to take care of your entire stay and your dinner and your breakfast, please don't pay us, there's no charge whatsoever. So we came here yesterday night, and it's like this magical place. I need to show you guys around a little bit. Actually, I think I'll have Memory show you around. This dog, I heard, is like nice, but if you stop petting him, he scratches you. Or if you start petting that dog, he doesn't like it because he wants all the attention. So I'll give you a little attention this morning. Okay, hey.
This is what you see when you walk in. Hudson is the guy who owns the place, and he hiked the AT 2 times already. And also this is what you see when you're walking down the stairs. He said everything here was either given to him or he found it, and it's all from the AT. And this is the living room, and this is my mom and my dad's and me, Rainier, and Filia's room. What's really cool is he put white blazes there because he didn't really want you to feel like you're completely leaving the trail. And this is a TV and movies. Also, he put a bunch of license plates up here, but they're all states that the AT goes through. So there's Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. This is Bill's, Eden's, and Dove's, and Seven's room. And also there's like antlers everywhere. Pretty cool. It's like that whole thing is full of antlers. That's full of antlers. A lot of the things here are just like made from the woods, and like that is a clock that I think Hudson made, and that lamp. It's really cool.
Oh, beard. Hops, your beard is looking sharp with that sunlight going through it like that. Look at that. Alright, so even though we didn't film yesterday, Hops, can you give a little rundown about your experience of yesterday?
Well, I'm used to waking up in the woods and eating things that have a foil bag, but what yesterday was amazing breakfast, that probably the best breakfast that I've ever had, with all the bacon. I was a vegetarian that I could eat, and then we rolled in. I got to go swimming, and then we rolled into this greatest hostel on the trail, Bearded Woods, and this crazy dinner, which was great, and this place is wonderful. So I'm really in heaven right now.
I have own juice.
We are just getting ready to go, but I am sitting here with Hudson, who lives here and owns this place. And I want you guys to hear from him, because he's been it's been blowing us away.
So I moved my location, came and found this house which was vacant and unlivable, and I fixed it up, and then I started taking hikers about 7 years ago, 2012. And after hearing everybody's stories and places they stayed, I just realized that I needed to re-hike this trail because I did it old school way, where you just put the blinders on, hiked 7 days, and went to town, resupplied, and got back on a trail. And I missed out on a lot of the hostels and kindness of the trail community. I've taken many hikers, father-sons, mothers and sons, and smaller families, but a group like this was the biggest family that I have ever heard of attempting to through hike. I would like to say that if you guys are going to complete this trail, that to give it incentive, I would meet you at the summit of Katahdin.
How far of a drive would that be for you?
It's an 8-hour drive. Yeah.
And you'd meet us at the top just to motivate us.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then I was saying something to you guys earlier. I was doing it for a family. When people ask what's the hardest part about hiking, for me and for most people, it's the missing of your family and loved ones. So when you guys come out here as a group, as a family, you just took the hardest part out of the equation, because the mud, the bugs, the cold, the hot, the mountains, the rocks, the roots, all of that is easily overcome. But the missing your loved ones never stops, and that's the mental aspect of the hiking that makes it so tough.
Anything else you want to say?
Well, thank you guys for coming and visiting. I'm hoping you enjoy the Bearded Woods. One thing as a hostel owner and a pass-through hiker that I like to always continue to do is make sure that my guests have the best experience possible. You know, and as hostel owners, you work real hard and it's many hours, and at the end of the season you get worn out and you're like, boy, I can't wait for the season to end, but you still give people the best experience possible and you still enjoy it. And then at the end of the winter, after not having hikers for all those months, you can't wait for the first hiker to arrive.
If people want to stay here, how can they find you?
AWOL guide.
So which mile marker or trailhead?
You have to call or make a reservation to come in. And I pick up between West Cornwall Road and Salisbury. So there's 3 towns: West Cornwall, Falls Village, Salisbury, and it's a 17-mile stretch that I will pick up there. And I also do any other shuttles for an extra fee.
All right.
And I shuttle the entire length of the trail.
All right. And this has actually completely changed our day, because last night, or this morning, Hudson offered to slack pack our family this entire day. This was completely not planned. So instead of doing 14 miles, we are gonna try and pull a 20. And he offered to pick us up at the end of our day and drive us to where we're staying tonight. And like, he won't take even like money or from me. I think he'll maybe accept it from other people, but he's just doing this all as a favor for us. So this is really changing our entire day. And it's little things like this that have changed our trip, actually. So, well, thank you, Hudson. It's time to hit the road.
All right, we're driving to the trailhead to start our day. Excited to be able to slack pack and get 20 miles in. But then Eden started to not feel good. So she brought a bag with her in the car and she ended up throwing up. So I was like, oh, that's not great, but maybe. And then she said, I feel a little better, so maybe we'll still go. And then about 2 minutes later, Rainier throws up all over Dove because Dove was holding him. I think because he was car sick, because now he just seems fine. So then we stop off the side of the road because there's just throw up everywhere and we don't really know what to do, and Ben and everyone else is ahead of us. and there's no cell reception, and I can't get a hold of them by phone. And then Filia starts to feel not great. So here we are trying to figure out what to do. I think we're gonna change everyone's clothes, put all the throw up stuff in the back of the truck, and we'll get it later tonight, and we'll have laundry tonight. So, and just to see if, I don't know if people are gonna feel well enough. We'll have to figure this one out. Okay, so Filia, she's actually the one I'm worried the most about right now, because Eden and Rainier seem to be doing okay, but I don't know if this was just car sick for her, because she does get car sick.
See you guys. These moments where the kids are like sick are some of the toughest moments on the trail for me as a dad. Because if we stopped every time someone didn't feel 100%, we'd never be walking. But the health of my children is so important. But some of these like sicknesses are more of like a discomfort thing and not actual long-term health. So the question I ask is this doing long-term damage, either physically or psychologically? It's hard to know. But we have a couple outs today where at 4 miles there's a road, so we could walk 4 miles, we could carry the kids 4 miles, and I don't feel like safety's an issue. So what we're gonna be doing is just walking. Maybe we'll start off slow. And a lot of times these things have just resolved themselves. So, I don't know, it's tough though. I wanna make the right decision. And I don't know if there's like a single right decision.
We've walked about a mile, and Filia's starting to feel better. I think for her it was the combination of smelling everyone else's throw up in the car, and she's prone to car sickness too. So Eden, how do you feel? Still not great? I guess Eden's still not feeling too hot over there, so we're gonna keep an eye on her.
We just did a little family meeting to kind of like regroup and, you know, just remind the kids we have a lot to be thankful for, because we don't have our packs and there's a lot we can't control, like being sick, but you know, we have people supporting us and helping us.
I walk a dove.
You want to walk with Dove?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you throw up in the car?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. And we just talked with the kids about how today is such an important day to be spending our energy instead of fighting and trying to get our own way, to help those that are sick. And almost like, I almost started like crying like during the meeting, because it's in these moments, like, I know it's like really shit and everything, but I see our family like come together in ways that I don't see otherwise. So it's really in these hardest moments that people like come together. I don't know, I just can't describe it, but.
We've gone 4 miles. It's about 12:20. We're eating this really good apple bread that someone made for us for lunch. Things are still kind of not looking great here. We got about 3 people who are just down for the count. We're going about the same pace as if we had our big packs on. But I'm still pretty impressed, because there's just a lot of us aren't feeling good. So we have to kind of make a decision. We have people willing to pick us up if people get too sick and they can't hike anymore, which is actually a really nice thing to have. But it also makes us have to decide when to call it quits today. Having a little bit of a smaller lunch today just because we had a really big breakfast and we have a bunch of snacks. So we're having some tuna and crackers, and I'm feeling a lot better than I was this morning, but I don't really feel like eating anything, so I don't know if that's a good sign. But yeah, my stomach isn't hurting anymore. I don't feel as tired.
All right. Okay, Eden, even though she's not feeling 100%, is gonna try carrying the baby. And I have a little note of encouragement for you that just came in off the internet from a fellow badass through hike vlogger. Okay, I guess my thing is highlighting one of the kids every episode. Eden impressed the heck out of me in this one. She is so mature and well-spoken, not to mention she is a beast. Had no clue she was taking turns with Rainier. Great job, Eden! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point! And then, even sick, Rainier is cute as can be. Beast! Just leave me hanging. There the beast goes. I'm really proud of these kids for hanging in there on a day when they probably would rather stay in bed and giving it the best they can. And I think at least fighting to have good attitudes and just not give up. I think for me, when I'm sick or hurt, it's easy to just like mentally give up and slip into this sense of like self-entitlement, like, oh, I deserve to take the day off. Out here with this big goal in front of us, we don't really have that luxury so much. And you know, we told Ian that she didn't have to carry the baby all day today, so she could just kind of recover, but now she's offering to. So we have about 5 miles left in about 2 hours. So we've been going actually really slow. Like we've been going about the speed that we would normally go with our packs, but with our packs off today. But to make it on time, we're gonna have to go really fast this last little stretch.
We bop and hippity hop, I'm as happy as I can be. Whoa, boom, boom, and hippity zoom. Love is sweet, love is grand, works one. We bop and hippity hop, I'll never be a millionaire. Whoa, boom, boom, and hippity zoom. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love. I don't care.
There she is, right there. Oh, good job. Oh, I can't believe we did that. You know, I think this is perfect. Yeah.
I felt it. I had the spirit telling me it's time to go, so I came out. Well, welcome to the Silver Princess. We can fit, I think, all of us here, and I'm just around the bend. I'm super close.
Rainier is asleep. Seven's asleep. Dove's eating candy. Ooh, look at this for breakfast in the morning. We had an amazing dinner. I drank 2 Bud Lights.
And enjoyed it.
Yeah, actually. The first one especially. This was a tough week. It was a tough ending, I think. The sickness and the last 2 days we didn't meet our goals in terms of mileage for the day. And that was really hard, morale-wise. But we still have a lot to be really thankful for, and I don't know, it's hard to know how to deal with the numbers as goals, and I think like not get too fixated on it.
But this is the end of the week, so our like weekly totals are, we did 109.3 miles this week, which means that we average 15.6 miles a day. That number keeps on getting really exciting because I think the average miles per day we need to finish is actually somewhere around 14 now. So we've consistently been getting more than we need to finish by our deadline. And I think we had some conversations this week with some people that were like really sobering about what we have lying ahead. Also, it's like some of the more difficult sections are ahead of us, and it's a little bit hard to know how to handle that. Like, should we be worried? Should we just like be hauling ass right now?
Yeah, it's hard to know how much to break our backs for this. I've definitely had some anxiety the last couple days, just feeling, oh man, we're not gonna make it or whatever. I don't know, I'm trying to just focus on a day at a time and not look too far ahead. What's been really cool has been, there's been several people now that have offered to slack pack us and have already done it or are going to be doing it this weekend and then lined up for us in the future. That I feel really supported that way, because I do think that that's going to help us quite a bit, even if it's only morale, but I think it'll also help us with our mileage.
I think I was a little picky before about how I wanted to do the trail, and now I'm like, if you're willing to help us, we'll take the help. Like, yes, that's just the answer.
Yeah.
Which is kind of humbling.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something really profound.
But then it went away
Oh.
because it's 1 a.m.
This lady who we're staying with here that just reached out to us, someone else on trail told her about us. She made us dinner, and we're going to be staying here for actually now 2 or 3 days, but she's going to be slack packing us, which means she's going to drive us to the trailhead without our packs, then pick us up and bring us back here, and then take us back to the trailhead. So it's like really
not
cool.
Even anything we could have even lined up for ourselves. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense why we're even here, why we got this far in Connecticut. And so I think about the next month and a half. I just think it's not going to make a whole lot of sense if we end up at Katahdin, and I can't be like, oh, this makes total sense why we got here. I mean, I think I'll just be like, I can't believe we got here. But in large part, it is because of all the support we've been given.
Tomorrow we're doing 6 miles without our packs. It's kind of our rest day, sleeping in. We try and rest once a week because we think it's important for a lot of reasons, but one is just as a reminder that we are not what we do or don't do. As humans, our value comes from something much more stable than our actions, our work. Even like, and work is a good thing, like hiking's a great thing. But when we're not able to see past that, and we're like, oh man, I feel good when I hike about myself and I feel terrible when I don't, we believe our identity can be found in something much more stable, and that is how much God loves us. And when we rest, it like forces us to remember that and believe that. So it's hard to rest. I mean, it seems like it should be easy, but you know, the only thing harder than not resting is resting, I think, sometimes. So
yeah,
we're doing it as a discipline and as a pleasure. So we're not going to be filming the next 2 days, but we will see you guys on Monday. I've almost eaten this entire carton of blueberries sitting here.
For breakfast.
Oh, well. Oh, crap. Were these for the pancakes?
Oh, no. Stop.
Were you eating fresh blueberries for pancakes? Why don't you a frozen one? Jeez. Alright. See you Monday. Shabbat shalom.